Hey guys, Megalithic Maiden here, JJ Ainsworth, and I've been on so many amazing adventures across the world at ancient sites, museums, visiting with the locals, just out exploring, trying to discover new things, and to learn new things about cultures that just are so mysterious. The allure is so great. But I want to share with you a few of my experiences. There's an interesting thing that happened whenever I was looking for information on the Olmec people, which are sort of a pristine culture. And pristine means that it's a culture that sort of supposedly developed outside of doing any sort of trading or anything with anybody else. It was sort of their own thing. Their ideas were their own. And these people started the Mesoamerican calendar system. There's proof of that. They have so many amazing things to teach us. So anyway, let me continue this story. So I was in Mexico, and I was on the hunt for some elusive sites from the Olmecs, and it's sort of a very jungly area around the Gulf. It's really hot in Mexico. Got food poisoning a few times, but so I was with H, right, on the back, these dirt roads that are supposed to be like their motorways. And we were going to a place called Laguna de los Cerros. And we were hunting Olmec artifacts, trying to learn anything that we could. Well, I was riding with H, and I looked over to my right, and I noticed this big lump of rock. We just discovered as he was driving by. I looked to my right, and I saw this figure, this stone carved figure that's probably Olmec, just right out in front of this school. And it's near Hueyapan. We were looking for the site Laguna Los Cerros, which is a Olmec site. And here's the back area. And over here, you can see the sort of leg that is bent back. You see the knee at the front. And here is a sort of belt. You can see it. It's a bit hard to see carved. So it's interesting. So sorry about that, guys. So we were at this jungly town in the middle of nowhere, and we discovered an Olmec artifact. So as I was just perusing around it, checking it out, recording it, Hugh had mentioned, look over there, which I said earlier. So there's this guy coming at us, like boldly, firmly, with intent, carrying a machete, just walking straight at us. And Hugh was extremely nervous, and I wasn't paying attention because I was just trying to inspect this prize. And next thing I know, I hear the car backing up really fast, and Hugh is like, "Get in!" And so I look up, and sure enough, Machete Man is right there. So, needless to say, I pretty much teleported inside of the car, and we just spun wheels and took off. So another one of my sort of misadventures that occurred was in Peru, Bolivia area. And I would just like to make a note that if you go to Peru or Bolivia, Andes mountain area, be aware it's really high elevation, and you probably may need oxygen, which I did on my first trip because I didn't understand what altitude really can do to you. But it's okay. If you visit, there are a lot of places where you can have a bit of oxygen. A lot of tour buses, the nicer ones, have oxygen on board for emergency situations. A lot of the hotels do as well. Okay, so let me continue on. So I was in the Bolivia, Peru area hunting for these mysterious lazy stones. And lazy stones are stones that are out of place. There's a story about how they were just sort of something to do with Viracocha, were dropped during some sort of myth story. There are several, so take your pick. A lot of times it might involve giants or super elite beings. But anyway, so I was with H and we were hunting these lazy stones. And I believe this time we were on the Bolivian side. And we came upon an area that was supposed to have a really good lazy stone. And we pulled up, we saw it in front of us. And we also saw some things we did not want to see, which was a lot of military-clad people with big guns, really big guns. And it turns out that we were at the closest point between Peru and Bolivia, the closest point between the two countries, and in the middle was Lake Titicaca. So apparently there's some gun running, some drug shifting taking place here. So we had men that dressed like they were military, a lot of them had face covers, and it was just not a good situation. And instantly time sort of just slowed down because I recognized something really bad could happen here. This could really go wrong. So I immediately just played it off like it wasn't a big deal, like this was a natural occurrence and there was nothing wrong. And so H was inspecting the lazy stone because it was there, and I went up to the heavily armed men. Some of the guns were as big as me, I'm not joking, and playfully started chatting at them, though I knew they didn't speak English, but it sort of wore them down. They began to smile, and they even let me get selfies with them, which was pretty cool. I knew it was a risk, but I wanted them, to think I'm some silly girl just there not knowing what she was doing, and at that time I didn't. So this is like an Indiana Jane movie or something. The things that happen. There are so many stories, but at the end of the day, it all went well, and we didn't die, and I ended up with some pretty cool photos that I would have never expected to have. And yeah, so I survived. I'm here to live another day. Okay, guys, for the next few seconds, I'm going to add a few photos that I think you might find interesting. And I also want to let you know that I will be co-hosting a tour to Peru and possibly with Bolivia as an add-on. But that will be probably in 2021, possibly 2020, but I'm gonna say probably 2021 is more likely. But anyway, check out the photos, and my email address is listed in the description box, and so are my links to Patreon and to my Facebook. And if you have any questions, you can put them down below in the comment section, and please hit the like button and also the bell icon for notifications. Thank you guys so much. Megalithic Maiden.